Hello and welcome to Happy Foot Sad Foot, your LAFC gateway drug and the only LAFC podcast that is suddenly pretending to be insiders selling exclusive information in their Patron. I'm Travis Helwig.
I'm Vince LaRosa.
And I'm Darren Miller.
That is a direct insult towards one person on Reddit.
I'm Darren Miller. Welcome to our preview of Phase 1 of Leagues Cup 2025. LAFC will play Mazatlan on Tuesday, July 29th, and Pachuca on Friday, August 1st, then Tigres on Tuesday, August 5th. All matches are at 7:30 p.m. at BMO Stadium. You can watch all of them on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV+. And our live post-game call-in show will start 10 minutes after the final whistle of all of them at youtube.com/@HappyFootSadFoot. Dress code, as always, for the live stream is our latest merch available over at HappyFootSadFootPod.com, except for our twice sold out Don't Ask Questions limited edition patron-only scarf, but tons more stuff is available on our website, and if you're a Patreon member, you get a 15% discount.
Plus tons of insider exclusive information. Later in the show, we'll build our League Cup brackets, and of course, we'll discuss all this week's storylines and make some bets. But first, it's time to pay the price for listening to the show. It's time for listener-mandated banter. Guys, we made it to Leagues Cup. I have banter, actually, that I want to...
Yeah.
I am watching a lot of RomComs at the moment.
Oh.
I'm doing a lot of research on a project I'm working on, so I've been watching a lot of RomComs.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many good... Why aren't we letting... I feel like I was robbed as a young man by being told that these movies were not for me. They are so funny. Some of the, like, I watched When Harry Met Sally. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. I watched Broadcast News, one of the best constructed movies I've ever seen. I'm watching Crazy Stupid Love right now. Laughed harder during that movie than Happy Gilmore 2. Crazy Stupid Love is so good. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's not for me. Why are we telling young boys this is why there's a loneliness epidemic?
Crazy Stupid Love is Gosling and Carell?
It's Gosling, Carell, Julianne Moore, and Emma Stone.
Okay.
And it is so fucking funny.
Well, Gosling and Carell are pretty, and all of them, actually.
All of them are great. And I'll say, like, Carell doesn't do comedy really anymore, and so it's fun to see him just, like, in his element, being as funny as he can be. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so well written. I don't know, did you guys feel like you watched rom-coms growing up? I watched none, because I felt like that's it. Boys watch... I don't know, Blair Witch
Project.
Project.
Chick flicks.
Yeah. I mean, definitely like the high school ones, you know, like She's All That is a rom-com, right?
Yeah,
like,
a lot of high school movies are rom-coms.
10 Things I Hate About You, one of my favorites.
But I feel like we were funneled towards like American Pie, right? Like they gave us like the shock jock.
A little more
But that's
raunchy.
a rom-com too.
It's more of like a raunchy teen comedy, I would say.
Yeah.
Like these are very much a story about like falling in love.
It's just both. But you're referring to a much better, like, a higher quality version of a movie.
This is what I wanted to point out. The three that you named are all like unambiguously lauded as being like the top of their game. Tell us about some of the shitty ones that you watched, or like they're still good, but you were like, I feel weird watching this.
I do not want to for fear that someone in LA.
Honestly, you know what I think? You know what I think is the issue is that it wasn't really what you're talking about as much as it was. There was a big flood of a certain type of rom-com that kind of ruined, that like spoiled the genre a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the movies you're talking about, like name a movie more recent than that. You know?
Crazy Stupid Love is pretty recent, right? Crazy Stupid Love is like 2012.
Yeah, I think there's an end to the phenomenon I'm talking about. I think it ended. And then since then they've like...
Yeah.
I would
now
say,
it's just movies are good or they're not good.
It's not a rom-com because it's super dark, but it's funny because it does try to play on some of the tropes. That I Love You Forever is really fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like it's not supposed to be funny, or it is supposed to be funny in parts, but it's also like really dark and fucked up. And like, if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But like, there were parts in it where I was like just busting up laughing, especially.
I'm so happy for them that it's going well. I'm good friends with the people who wrote it. I worked with Kazi and Elisa, who are the writers. I worked with them on a TV show, and they've been working on the movie for so long. And it is, I mean, Kazi, I think, is always really funny, but they're such good writers. And like, it didn't get a bunch in theaters, but it's like taking off on streaming now. I'm like very excited people are watching it.
It's creative in like the choice of relationship they decided to put in it. But then the characters are like these characters that everyone knows in their lives. And like, they seem that much more real. And like, they don't have deep backstories, but at the same time, you're like, oh, I know that person is in my life. That person's in my life. Like it's real, and then the shit that they say is just too funny. Like the one-liners and just the timing is so perfect.
You know what I learned from Kazi David is that Nepo babies are cooler than other people. Like I think Nepo babies get a really bad rap, like the Nepo baby Falconer. but like, because we're like, well, they didn't have to work for it.
Keep it
But
relevant,
it's
nice.
like, I had never met Kazi, and then I worked with her, and she's so funny. And she just, because she is Larry David's daughter, has just had like an incredibly interesting life. And like, I'm sure that it's made her life easier and her career easier. But also, I really liked being around her because the things she could talk to me about were so fucking interesting based on what other people could talk to me about. I was like, wow, Nepo babies rule. I'm never going to talk shit about them ever again.
I think that like there's like a fairness thing that people talk about, but that's not about their personality. And then it's just who the parents are, whether or not they're like spoiled and out of touch. So you can't just assume all of them are.
I would also say most of the Nepo babies we're against, it is about their personality because they have bad personality. But the ones we're for, we're like, don't be so hard on them.
It's always like, it's an interesting phenomenon too in show business, because it's like, if a plumber left his plumbing business to his daughter, everyone would be like, wow, a family business. But the fact that Drew Barrymore was the daughter of two actors, it's like, how dare she get ahead in this world by using her connections? I'm not saying that it's like, obviously it's different and there's more money involved, and it's mainly because like there's a fairness element. But I bet it's hard to crack into the plumber business too if there's a family business in a certain city.
It's true.
Also, you can make some bank.
I'm looking for an electrician at the moment, if you know it.
I guarantee you there's somebody that listens to this show that is an electrician.
You know what's interesting is there is a rom-com that people love that I didn't like, which is Sleepless in Seattle. Have you guys ever seen that one?
Yes, not in a very long time.
Not a long time, yeah.
And that was like, there was multiple ones.
Is that one of the Meg Ryan ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were like
I think
all the
Meg
same.
Ryan is really funny, but it is very similar to other Meg Ryan ones. But I think like the plot of Sleepless in Seattle, it's just like, she hears a guy on the radio and they fall in love, and they're going to end up together. I guess maybe it's also...
Is that Tom Hanks also?
It's Tom Hanks.
Yeah. And then they were like, let's do You Got Mail. And they're like, what's that one? Well, this one, instead of radio, Postal Service. Think about
How do you guys feel about
the Postal Service? It's AOL.
Oh, AOL. Yeah.
That's right.
Hit all the demographics.
You got mail. How do you guys feel about the like rom-com couples staying together in multiple movies that aren't related to each other?
Yeah,
I think if they have chemistry,
McConaughey, Lopez.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like Gosling and Emma Stone in Crazy Stupid Love have such great chemistry, and then they did like 400 movies together. Mm-hmm. Like Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks did a bunch of movies together. I don't know if the chemistry's there. Do it.
It's like a what's it called? Oh man, I had this thought and then I realized I don't remember their names.
I was thinking, as long as it's not Amy Schumer.
No, I was gonna say it's like a classic. Who's the like dancing couple that were in musicals together?
The
Fred
Huffs?
Astaire and
Fred Astaire and
Derek Huff and Julianne Huff. Are those people?
Aren't they brother
earlier?
Are they brother sister? Oh,
yes.
I don't know. I know one of them did blackface. That's all I know about that.
Oh, yikes.
that we know of.
Yeah, I'm sure both of them did at some point. But you're right. Like Audrey Hepburn and Cary Grant did a bunch of movies together too. Like if the chemistry's there,
it's a very classic thing.
The audience kind of wants to believe that they're like secretly a couple, right? Because they just work so well together.
Oh, Ginger Rogers.
Yeah.
What's the saying? Everything Fred Astaire did, Ginger Rogers did backwards in heels.
Yes. Yeah. Why did you bring up that saying?
Oh, it's like a
You just wanted to say it.
That's what made me remember who it was. But that's very like this is like a Hollywood. We want to see them do something else now.
Yeah.
Like same love story in a different world.
The general public is not creative. You guys know this. They're like you said, one, they want to believe. They're like, well, they must be like boyfriend and girlfriend in real life. And two, they're like, okay, well, there's another movie. Just put those two people that I like in it. Don't ever cast anyone else. I can never picture anyone else in a movie.
Let's turn this into an anthology TV series.
I would much rather two actors be in a bunch of different stories together because we like those two actors than them do 4 sequels to that movie, right? Like Two Sleepless in Seattle.
Yes.
Like
That's a great way to put it.
Much. I don't know why Hollywood doesn't think that way anymore. Where it's like, these two characters worked really well together in Top Gun. Let's just make another different type of movie with those two people together, and we'll still capitalize on the success of that thing without making, 45 Marvel movies. Although I hear that Fantastic Four was good. I didn't see it.
Is Fantastic Four Marvel?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to see it.
Cool.
I like those comic books when I was a kid.
Superman
and they've never made a good Fantastic Four movie.
This one's pretty good.
So it's nice that this one supposedly is good.
I'm going to go see Lethal Lethal Weapon. I did that last time.
Naked Gun?
Naked Gun. I'm going to go see Naked Gun again.
I will say if they did another Lethal Weapon, I'd be in for it. I love those movies. I don't
Same,
care.
I really want to see
actors?
Naked
I
Gun.
know that I'm going to get hate from people that will have something to say about Mel Gibson, but this was pre that. And I'm just going to say, love those movies.
It was
All
all
right.
still in his head.
Yeah, fair.
He hadn't said
That's
it
fair.
out loud
Yeah,
yet
you can. Yeah,
to the public.
you can stick that to me. But I'm just saying, him and
No,
Danny Glover.
the cocaine hadn't put the holes in his brain yet.
Yeah, that's
didn't,
fair.
Didn't allow it to spill out.
All right, let's start the show.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
good banter. I feel like we had good. If you
Strong.
haven't seen Crazy Stupid Love because you think it's for girls, watch it. I laughed so hard earlier today.
It's
Watching.
really fun.
We followed a single A story this time and it worked.
Yeah,
That
it
was a
worked.
first.
I wrote down rom-coms because I was like, this is
No-
something that's
Ooh,
interesting
notes?
to talk about.
Smart.
All right, let's start the show. We can start the show, but we actually first, we have a message from our sponsors today.
From our sponsor, Swiffer Wedja?
No, an actual real sponsor this time. Can you
Okay.
believe
Wait,
it?
we weren't getting paid this whole time?
Not at all. No, I was paying out the ass to Swiffer.
It is expensive.
Yeah, I was licensing their brand name. It's extremely expensive. You ever notice how some law firms advertise like they're fielding a World Cup squad, but when it's game time, all you get are the bench warmers?
I have noticed that, yeah.
Can you guys give me some details on the last times that you've dealt with a law firm?
I'm not legally allowed to.
Yeah.
That's right.
NDA, baby.
Yeah, doctor-patient confidentiality.
Yeah.
But
HIPAA.
let's just say
I'm just
I
saying
can't-
all the abbreviations I know.
documentation company.
That's my doctor. That lawyer's my doctor. You can't ask.
That's why I can't talk. I showed my lawyer things I shouldn't show.
At Amirian Law, they're not about bright billboards or cheesy jingles. They're focused on what really matters, winning your case and getting you the compensation you deserve. With Amirian Law, you get more firepower than a Bawanga blast from day one when you need it most.
Hell yeah.
So if you want a law firm that plays like a team but delivers like a star striker, call Amirian Law at the special Happy Foot Sad Foot Friend of the Foot phone number 1-866-ARE-WEBACK.
What?
1-866-ARE-WEBACK. That's 1-866-273-9322. Are we back?
I feel back if we have a special number for a law firm. That feels
think we're
special.
back.
We're back, baby.
I think we're so back. Well, I guess we could say we're back from commercial.
Okay, I think that means we could start the show. Darren, go ahead.
As a more casually obsessed LAFC fan on the show, I love LAFC and I'll never miss a match, but I don't have time to stay on top of all the advanced stats, roster moves, rumors, tactics, and off-the-field drama that I can't get from just watching the matches when all I see watching a match is ball get kicked, ball get kicked, ball get kicked, ball get kicked, ball go off head, ball go in net, ball get kicked, ball get kicked, ball get kicked, LAFC loses. Luckily, my friends Travis, the human LAFC crazy wall, and Vince, the LAFC patron saint of tactics, are here to catch me up every week on the most important storylines that live beneath the surface of every match so we can all enjoy them so much more in a segment we call Storylines.
Darren, Vince, Dintz, I come to you on this, one of the most important weeks in LAFC history, with some storylines. And the first one is this. What are you laughing at?
Sorry, I just love that you wrote that once and never deleted it.
Joke's on you. I rewrite it every time.
Oh my God.
And the first one is this. Am I hearing that we're about to sign the second best player in Major League Soccer, or am I just hearing the tap, tap, tap of the ghost of Antoine Griezmann? Yes, I'm sure, as you all know by now, LAFC are on the brink of a massive signing. One of the biggest stars in the world, Canadian midfielder Matthieu Chouaneri.
Nailed it. Mathau?
Mateus Bogus. Chouaneri,
Something-
is that right?
Chouanier.
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 Sounds like a character in like a 90s sword fighting movie.
Sure.
At least I'm an equal opportunity mess up pronunciation.
That's fair.
It's not just Latin America. I can't do any of it.
You're the South Park of this podcast.
Yeah. Oh God. Not those guys. What won't they touch?
It's not fair that they're successful too.
From Grasshopper FC in Zurich. No, while that is true, and he is an exciting playmaker in the midfield for our squad, the big news story since we last recorded was the reporting surrounding the signing of Tottenham Hotspur's legend and Korean superstar Youngman Sun. There were rumors about Sun a while ago, and we sort of dismissed them until our inside source, our DP Deep Throat, let us know that there might be more than we thought to this story. Then last week, Paul Tenorio at The Athletic said that LAFC have spoken to Sun and that Tottenham won't stand in the way if a agreement is made. Then we heard from our DP Deep Throat that things are closer than they seem and that Sun is contractually obligated to finish out his Asian tour and doesn't want to sour things for the Spurs or his Asian fans before making his decision. And then this morning, Tom Bogert reported that LAFC and Sun are in advanced talks and that Sun won't make up his mind until after he plays those games in Asia. There's some concern that he might want to stay another year at Tottenham to play in the Champions League, but if he's concerned about playing time leading into next year's World Cup, this might be the way for a 33-year-old to get more playing time than he might in the Premier League. But if he says he wants to come next year, I will immediately have PTSD flashbacks of Antoine Griezmann. We've talked about Sun before, but since it is seemingly closer than it was at any other time, if you don't follow the Premier League, here's how good Sun is. In the 2021 season, he won the Golden Boot for the Premier League, the best league in the world with 23 goals on the season, and not a single one of them was from a penalty kick. He's in the 100-goal club for the Premier League, the only Asian player ever to do so, and that's a huge continent. In 2020, he won FIFA's Goal of the Year award by dribbling from the top of his own box past 6 defenders, 70 yards with the ball at his feet, and then just sort of coolly placed the ball in the back of the net. If you haven't watched it, go Google it. It's like the goal that Carlos Vela did if it was from further away and he made it look like he was playing against children. He's also scored more World Cup goals for Korea than any other player in history, and he still has another World Cup in him as the talisman for Korea. Last season, Sun only scored 7 goals for Tottenham, which still honestly isn't bad for the Premier League. But to be fair, literally no one scored for Tottenham. They were shit last year. Also, I apologize if my voice sounds a little bit weird. I have a little bit of a cold going on. But it's not just Sun. Other transfer news since we last spoke. Despite the insane amount of news around Bouanga to Club America, every single person that has any sort of contact that I've talked to has said there's absolutely nothing there. Stop talking about Denny Bouanga going to Club America. It doesn't seem like it's happening. I don't think it's happening. Everyone just ignored that story. Liga MX just ran with it for some reason. There's nothing there. One person I even talked to said, quote, there was never any contact. So look, maybe they're going to swoop in with a mega offer, but I would say just assume we're keeping Bouanga for the time being. On top of that, Dilrosun, since we last spoke, is heading back to Club America. His loan is over, and part of the rumor was Dilrosun was part of a trade for Bouanga where they'd get a cheaper price. Things that don't really make sense if you think about them.
Things that never happen.
All. But that means if Bouanga is staying and Dilrosun is going, we have 2 open DP slots going into the summer, which knowing John Thorrington will probably go to 1 major name and 1 wild card risk slot that we've never heard of, and that will be a bust, and then we'll make fun of them for years to come. Few other names I want to mention. Tom Bogert reported we're close to signing Colombian center back Alexis Perez, who last played in the Saudi League. If you're a Patreon Discord member, you knew that information 24 hours in advance. Thank you, DP Deep Throat. And LAFC... the
DP Throat sounds different.
DP Deep Throat is one of the grossest phrases I've ever said on the show, but it makes sense in context.
It does.
And
the original Deep Throat didn't really.
And also, one of the hosts of the Counterpress podcast, LAFC Daniel, is reporting that LAFC is also signing Ryan Porteous from Watford. He's a Scottish center back. Outside of one Watford source that Daniel has retweeted, I haven't seen any other reports mentioning that name, and I reached out to some other people. No one else has heard this name at all, so I can't confirm anything, but Daniel on our Discord said it's definitely happening, and it's real, so we shall see. Always happy to have good center back depth if that turns out to be real. One final thing I want to put a bow on. LAFC seems to have passed on Thomas Mueller, who will be joining one of the best teams in the West, the Vancouver Whitecaps, if he can get out of Cincinnati's, what is it called?
Discovery list.
Discovery list or whatever the fuck.
Discovery rights.
But he is on a TAM deal for 2025 and then a DP deal from 2026 is the rumor that Bogert posted. If that is true, I am happy that we passed on him, especially giving a DP deal next year. Yeah, we're good. I think we're good. And also that Gio Reyna rumor we talked about seemingly has also completely fizzled. Well, that's a ton of transfer rumors since we last spoke. First, Vince, I know we've talked about Sun before. We already know what you think about how he would fit in with his style of play. So I'm curious, actually, from what you know about the inside of how clubs work, journalism and social media, and how these signings work, how close do you feel? Like, obviously, we don't know anything. We're just guessing based on what people have told us. How close do you think Sun is to signing with LAFC? How good do you feel about it just on like a gut level for how it's being reported out?
It's definitely very real. Anytime Tom puts stuff out and then has a follow-up, it went from like him and Tenorio saying, look, there's been talks, and then now they're progressing. We obviously have gotten some info passed along to us saying that it's very real, and I think it is very real. One of the things in context that we have to take into this is he is, in fact, one of the greatest players ever in Spurs history, and it is right now a Spurs legend. Like, brought them a trophy last season. They have been starved for trophies for over a decade. He's probably the best Asian player of all time. So when you consider this player, who I think he does have real doubts about what he wants to do, why would he leave the Premier League, right? Like, even though he just won a trophy, he's thinking, man, we didn't do very well in the league. I'd love to play in the Champions League again. I'd love to carry that on. However, Spurs, as much as they love Son and the fans love Son, they have to think about their team as a business and as a club going forward into the future. And they did have a very poor league finish. Despite, getting into the Champions League, they have to think, well, we were kind of shit and we probably need a lot of things. And a 33-year-old winger who unfortunately had probably his first season of like injury after injury, which is probably why his goal totals were low, is probably not in our plans. And on top of it, we've hired a new coach. So maybe now is the time that we would move on from this player. Now, we're not going to just kick him to the curb because we can't do that to a legend. We have our own PR to do, and we can't have our fans hate us. But we do, like I said, do have a new coach. They've actually signed some players much younger in a similar position. They have Brendan Johnson. They had Matthias Tell, who was there on loan. They've made it permanent from Bayern Munich. They've got Mohamed Kudus from West Ham. These are all wingery type players, all guys that you would think could play in Son's role and are much younger. And a new coach might just want a clean break and say, this guy was a legend. It's hard to do maybe what I want to do with a player where it's going to be questioned week in and week out if I don't include him, right? Because he is such a legend. So I think that what's going on here is LAFC and Tottenham have talked, and Tottenham has said, look, pretty much everything I've said. Hey, great guy. We love him. We're going to let him make the decision in the end. But hey, if you guys want to put a bid in, let's do business. And so now it's at the point where they're in Korea to play in those games. And of course, he's going to play in those games in his home country. And they're basically probably said, okay, when you're done with this, let's make a decision here. Like, between you, Thomas Frank, and us, let's all decide what's best for you. And I think the player deserves that. And I think the fan base in Tottenham deserves that. So that's the delicate thing that they're doing right now, because I think at the end of the day, this deal probably gets done, but no one wants to look like they did anything to force their way out, whether it's Tottenham forcing him out or LAFC pulling too hard or Son deciding to leave, which I don't think. If Son leaves, it's just going to be because he's told, you're not really in our plans. Why don't you move on? Like you said, move on to a place where you're going to play more, especially ahead of a World Cup. So this is one of the few times where it's a really delicate PR balance. And I think there's a lot of smoke to this fire and a lot of good reporting going on. But it's really just going to come down to a player who is a legend to a big fan base, and whether he decides, I want to stay there and I don't want to be, because no matter what he does, right? Or not no matter what it is, but if he leaves, even if it's like, oh, this is all on good terms and guys, this is the best for everyone, there's going to be Spurs fans that are going to be very mad, right? He's that type of player. So I think you can't begrudge him for taking his time and just trying to find the best way to do this for all parties.
Darren, if Son does agree to stay in Tottenham for one more season, will you blame John Thorrington or the curse of Antoine Griezmann? And how do you think the rest of our fan base will react?
It's the curse of Antoine Griezmann.
Wait, maybe it's this. Think about this. Just one more wrinkle to throw in there. The shirt that he probably would wear is number 7, which also probably would be the same number as Antoine Griezmann. Could it be like number 7 is cursed?
Who have we had to wear the number 7? I can't. Blessing?
Yeah, Latif wore it.
LAFC number
Blessing?
7. Is Nathan Ordaz 7?
No. Nathan Ordaz is 29 right now? Either 29 or 27.
I can't. Is David Martinez 7? Who is 7?
Latif wore 7. No one's wearing 7.
No one's wearing 7 right now.
That's what I'm saying. They've left it blank. I do remember when Latif, like, first time I ever met Latif, it was media day. and they were like, hey, we're like kind of slowed down. Can you hang out with Latif for like 15 minutes? And I was like, sure, I guess. We had an interesting chat that just was like spanned many different things. But one of the best was talking about numbers. And I was like, oh, you get to wear number 7. That's a pretty good number. He goes, yeah, when I showed up, I was like, hey, I'm going to take number 10. They're like, no, you're not going to wear number 10. That's going to be Carlos. And he was like, fine. I want number 9. They're like, you're also not going to wear number 9. That's going to be Diego Rossi's. And he's like, okay, what number can I wear? And they said I could wear 7, and I'm happy with it, but I really wanted 10. And I was like, God love you, Latif. You're the best. Like, it was one of the better conversations ever.
That goes back to that thing you said about how everyone has to think they're Neymar to be able to play at the level they play at.
He was so funny about it. The way he's like, he like the whole story was him narrating it. He's like, I went to them and I said, I want number 10. And they said, no, Latif, you can't be 10. That's Carlos Vela. And he goes, and I said, oh, right. Carlos. I love Carlos. Okay, so I want number 9. No, you can't be number 9. That's Diego Rossi. And I love Diego. He's like, so I wanted to know. So it was the conversation was so great.
That's great. I mean, yeah, it's got to be the ghost, right?
The ghost of number 7.
I don't know I don't know when to look. Someone smarter than me knows when is proper to blame John Thorrington for, like, if he's putting his best effort into getting a player, he's making the best offer he can make, and then like what ends up happening after that, what are you blaming him for exactly? Like it sounds like he's doing 100% of the things he can do. And then I think the question is like, do we hold off on making big moves to wait for him for like a next year thing, which is, I think, where the Griezmann thing got fucked. And I don't know, we don't know exactly how that went down, but like, it seems like enough was resting on Griezmann and they like chose to try to wait it out to land the plane. Mm-hmm. And it didn't pan out, and that's what I don't want to happen again.
I think
that's
that's
2 club legends, right?
Yeah,
stop going for club legends, because for the exact, like, that's something we didn't get a chance to talk about with Griezmann too much. We did a little bit. Was like, that's another player that the fan base absolutely loves him, and he does not want to leave there. Even if he leaves, he wants to leave there on the best possible terms with them still loving him, right? So, and then the club has to do it in a way that no one makes an enemy out of the club, right? So it doesn't happen a ton, but there is still a few players in the world in which this is a big worry for them and a problem. And it just so happens that LAFC just seems to be picking all of them. Like, oh, let's get Griezmann. No, Son. I mean, I don't know who it would be next year, but Mbappe. No, it won't be Mbappe. But like, they just keep picking guys where it's like, yeah, they might want to leave, but then they're like, but if I leave, like, the people that have loved me for so long might hate me. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think I just feel real PTSD about the last year and a half about getting our hopes up about a player that it will come in and immediately change the team, right? But like that, we can't lose sight of the fact that, like, I'm happy that these are people that want to come to our club at least. Like, Sun would, I do think, immediately be the second most popular player in the league. He would transform this team in the city of Los Angeles. Like, I don't think a lot of fans understand just how popular he is, and also how big the Korean population is in Los Angeles. Like, their most popular athlete in the world would be joining our club. It would be a monumental shift in the popularity of our club and also the quality of our club. Mm-hmm. Which is why I'm trying to not get my hopes up, which is why we sort of lightly talked about it for a few weeks while saying like it could all fall apart. And now that there's the New York Times talking about it, and Fabrizio talking about it, and Ombagur talking about it, it is,
oui.
I can finally like feel a little bit of the excitement building, but I know, when you've had your heart broken, it's hard to fall in love again, And that brings us to our next storyline of the week, which is this. Wait, they changed the Leagues Cup format again? This week marks the start of everyone's least favorite tournament, the Leagues Cup. This is the MLS versus Liga MX tournament that Mexican fans think is unfairly biased against them, while Americans fans say it ruins our season and injures all of our players. But it's also proof that we're as good as Liga MX. To prevent Liga MX teams from backing out of the tournament this year, the two leagues have changed the format again. And the format honestly does seem kind of fun this year. So here's what the format is, okay? There aren't groups anymore, and not every MLS club will participate. Just the top 18 clubs, the top 9 in the West, top 9 in the East from last season, will participate in the Leagues Cup. Everyone else participated in a much more important tournament, the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup.
Of course.
Every single club that is participating in the Leagues Cup will play 3 games in what they are calling Phase 1, but only against teams from a different league. So LAFC will play 3 Liga MX teams. Club America will play 3 MLS teams. And reminder, in the Leagues Cup, there are no draws. All games go straight to penalties after 90 minutes. Then, after every team plays 3 games against a team in a different league, so does everyone following? We're going to play 3 Mexican clubs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone following so far?
Yes.
Yes.
After those 3 matches, it is decided based on points who moves on. And because there are no groups, the top 4 MLS teams and the top 4 Liga MX teams will move on based on points. Here's how the points are awarded. First of all, no ties. Each team in a tie will receive 1 point at the end of 90 minutes. After the penalty shootout, the winner of that penalty shootout will win an additional point. So if you win the penalty shootout from a draw, you get 2 points on the game. If you draw and then lose the penalty shootout, you get 1 point on the game. If you win a game straight out, you get 3 points. If you lose a game straight out, you get 0 points. So 3 points for a win, 2 points for a win that comes from a penalty shootout, 1 point for a loss that comes from a penalty shootout, and 0 points from a loss that comes from regulation. Is everyone on the same page so far?
Yeah, this makes sense. There's like variation in point totals, so hopefully not a lot of ties at the end.
Well,
hopefully.
There are 18 teams from each league playing and only 4 teams from each league that moves on. So that means there can be multiple teams that win 3 of their games, but not everybody can move on. It is possible for us to win 9 full points and still not move on based on tiebreakers, which despite us looking on the LAFC website, the MLS website, and the Leagues Cup website, we could not find. But my guess is we'll find out tomorrow night that the tiebreaker is either goal differential or goals for, and then goals against after that. I'm assuming that's what it'll be, but we don't know. So just know that there's some tiebreaker, and it's possible we win all 3 games and still don't move on. So now we have 8 teams remaining, 4 from MLS, 4 from Liga MX. It's still from there, the knockout round starts, okay? Take out that long pause as I was trying to figure this out. From there, the knockout round starts. MLS's team that is number 1 in points plays at Liga MX's team that is number 4 in points. And MLS's number 2 team plays Liga MX that's 3, and vice versa. So it's just seeded across the way. After that, there's no more reseeding for leagues. They don't really care who's left after that. So after the final 8, it's a pure draw. But if you make it to the knockout round 4 games in a row, you are playing a team from another league. After that, who knows how it'll work. Darren, how do you feel about this new format from a purely casual fan perspective, from a TV perspective, from a fun perspective? How you feeling?
I think it kind of depends on the broadcast. If they can communicate what you need to know and leave out what you don't need to know in terms of the complications, like you don't need to make everyone a scholar on the Leagues Cup, then if they do a good job of like framing how everything works and what the stakes are to the casual viewer, I think this will be very fun. I don't know that I can think of a good example of another situation where it's like you're in a table to determine who's at the top of that table, but you're not playing any games against the other teams on that table. That's really interesting. I can't say that that I have like a point of view on whether that's good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
It feels more random, right? Like if you get a hard draw, you are out of luck compared to a team who got an easier draw, right? Like it in a like the new Champions League format in Europe, every team plays every other team twice to be the most fair it can be or whatever, right? Like there's a ton of games. This is, well, you play 3 teams. Let's see how it goes. It just feels more random, which could be more fun. Like we might get weird teams in there. But I don't know if it's any more interesting. Maybe it is. I do like that we're only playing Mexican teams because last year our entire run in Leagues Cup, I think, was a single game against a Mexican club. Vince, this new format was developed, most people think, because Liga MX teams complained about how hard this tournament was, biased against them. Do you feel like this new format benefits either league? All games are still being played in America, but they are giving some preference to top tier Mexican clubs, so they have to travel less frequently.
I mean, still, the fact that it's only played in America means MLS teams are going to benefit. The fact, though, that they've done this, like you guys have said, like no matter what, the top 4 teams in each group, and you're competing on the field against the different league, but then in the table, you're competing against teams you're not going to play. That's interesting. It's really just a force to make sure that we get the even amount of MLS and Mexican teams in the knockout. So, and that didn't happen in the prior edition of the Leagues Cup. So that is definitely to cater to some of the complaints of the Mexican team side. But yeah, it's still lopsided. Like, I think ultimately I like this idea. I still wish that there were some games in Mexico, and that would make it, I would be 100% sign off on this. It is funny that in the league in which almost everyone makes the playoffs, they're now like, okay, there's 36 teams, only 8. We're going to go straight to quarterfinals. No round of 16, no nothing. Like it just, to your point about like the fact that you could win games and go undefeated and not go to the next round because they've chopped it down so much, again, to cater a little, well, to both sides. There's too many games. So they're just like, we make them play these extra games. They're going to lose their minds. But I think as a casual, it's fun. There's still a lot of work to do. There's just, if we're going to keep doing this, which I don't know if we are, there's still a lot of work to do.
We're going to talk about it in the next storyline a little bit, but I do think, like, from what you just said, wouldn't it be more fun and simpler for everyone if we just get rid of the phase 1, the top 4 from the playoffs, like the top 2 in the East, the top 2 in the West from last year, get into Leagues Cup. They do the same for like the 2 different seasons of Liga MX. Then we just have a knockout round. So it's 4 versus 4. Everyone else in MLS just plays in the US Open Cup. Like, why are we doing this long thing, forcing everyone into it? Let's just have an 18 tournament. Money, Vince points out money is important.
Don't you get money regardless because you're playing both tournaments?
I'm not talking about getting money for playing in the tournaments. I'm talking about gate receipts, boys.
Oh,
yeah,
stadium.
Inventory and gate receipts. You gotta 60. What is there going to be, like 60 some odd games total in the entire Leagues Cup? Travis, what you're saying is going to be what, like 6 games? Like they need more games, baby.
Top 4 from the West, top 4 from the East.
Yeah, but then it's straight knockout. So then, well, that's like 3 games.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about 60.
You were saying math, but I hadn't considered math.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now
this number is bigger than that number.
18 MLS teams play at least 3 games, and 18 Liga MX teams play at least 3 games. And then after that, we get what I'm saying would make more sense, which does, but not from a capitalist standpoint. I got it. And that brings us to our final storyline of the week, which is this. Do we want to win Leagues Cup, and will we? Dolo made it clear after our brutal loss this Friday that the guys are tired. We're dealing with lots of injuries, tough Champions Cup and Club World Cup matches, and now 3 difficult opponents in Mazatlan, Pachuca, and Tigres. My initial instinct going into this tournament was that maybe we should just punt the whole thing and give the guys rest to get better MLS playoff seeding. But then I remembered the top 3 teams in this tournament get a spot in next year's CONCACAF Champions Cup. It's why we got in the Champions Cup this year, which the Champions Cup, if you remember, if you win, grants you a spot in the Club World Cup in just 4 years' time. And we all know that the Club World Cup is the second most important club tournament on earth besides the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. And while a tired LAFC squad of late might not seem up to the task, I do want to remind all of our beaten down fans that when we play tough opponents in big games, our team has shown up this season. We beat Club America at home in a playoff game. We had huge home games against Columbus and Miami. And don't forget, we played better against Chelsea than Paris Saint-Germain. But we are playing 3 really difficult teams, and we aren't necessarily coming into it with a strong, beefed up squad at the moment. Last season, Tigres, Pachuca, and Mazatlan weren't as good as they'd been in the past, but we know from experience that Mexican clubs are never to be underestimated. Just 3 games into their season thus far, Pachuca has 9 points in 3 games, Tigres has 2 points in 6 points in 2 games, and Mazatlan has 4 points in 3 games. All pretty good to start the season, as Mazatlan isn't, but we know that they're the worst of the 3 teams. Vince, how are you feeling about our draw compared to who it could be against in the Mexican League? And how do you feel about our chances in Leagues Cup in general?
I think our draw is still pretty tough. I mean, like you said, Mazatlan would normally be a team you'd be like, okay, like LAFC should beat them pretty easily, but they're actually started well in the league. Pachuca is always difficult. They have a great academy, so they always, despite selling on some of their best talent, has always seemed to find really good young talent out of their academy. And then Tigres is like a giant. You know, it's a team that has some of the best players around the world on it. So I think that's tough. I mean, the one good thing is LAFC is at home, like you said, and we do play well up to our competition at home. The games you pointed out, all been at home except for the Chelsea one. But the team does look gassed. I mean, I'm looking at this tournament and I'm wondering when rosters are due, because you do have to put in a Leagues Cup roster. You would hope some of these signings get in before then. I think it would be a good time for LAFC to really not rest so much, but get some of the fresh players in there and then try to get them into the system as quickly as possible, right? And I guess that's experimenting in a way, but let's see what they've got, like against high level competition, like right away. And then that way, I think that sets you up for a much better run into the final leg of the season and the playoffs. But also, like if these guys are good, they might win some games. And then I think the way it works, you may even get another ability to add to your roster as you get into the knockout phase, because the knockout phase doesn't start for like a week and a half after the end of phase one. You know, let's say Youngman Sun is done with his games in Korea by then, and maybe he's on the team. I don't know. It's possible.
We have a history against Tigres. I just want to remind everyone. We lost to them.
Some very hard fought games.
In the Champions Cup. I think you guys remember we went up 1-0 in the second half. This was the Champions League at the time. Mm-hmm. And then they scored 2 goals immediately after to beat us 2-1. I believe that was the final, correct?
Yes.
And then also Campeones Cup, another final, the champion of MLS versus the champion of Liga MX. And they beat us in penalties in that one. So we have yet to beat Tigres in a big game. Pachuca, have we beaten Pachuca? I know we've played Pachuca.
I don't think we've played Pachuca.
We haven't played Pachuca? Mm-mm. Is that where Chicho went for a bit?
Yes.
But we are grateful to them for the same ownership group owning Club Leon, which is what enabled us to play Club America, which enabled us to get into Club World Cup.
They do have a chip on their shoulder.
They may have a chip on their shoulder on that one, even though it had nothing to do with us.
Yeah, but truly, I would be pissed if I was there.
Sure. You got to take it on somebody. You're not going to play FIFA in a game.
Darren, how do you feel about winning the whole thing? Do you care? Do you want us to fight for it? Where does it rank among the things you care about this season?
Well, first is my family.
You have a family cup? I want to make sure I raise the family trophy as the best member of the family this year.
I mean, the trophy does look like something that you could put on your table and put a lot of fruit in.
That's true. It is just a bowl, a serving bowl that is raised. I think what you just said is really important. I think given what it enables us to do to keep competing in these other tournaments, we should be, if we're taking a step back here, we really should be putting our best foot forward at every opportunity we have to complete that sort of chain reaction. Like, we were in the Club World Cup. There were only 3 MLS teams that were. That is not easy to do, and we should be putting an attempt in to make it possible whenever we can. I'm not going to be really pissed off and disappointed and super surprised if we don't win a Leagues Cup, but I think it's worth not throwing it. And if we can time it right and we get reinforcements, like, it's possible that like Vince, you said, this is my job on the show, just reiterating what each of you say.
Great.
It's possible that in the middle of the Leagues Cup, we become a wildly different team. And then it's like, well, the circumstances are totally different. I don't care about this team getting rest. Like, let's win.
If you remember, Messi made his debut in Leagues Cup and won the tournament his first season. Right. I do think like it's worth remembering that if we can get into the knockout round, we have just under a 50% chance of getting into Champions Cup. And so it's like, it does feel like it might be worth it to try to get to the fucking final again, even though I do think our draw makes it quite difficult. I think Tigres is one of the best teams on the continent, if not the best team on the continent. Pachuca, very good. And like we said, probably is mad at us. If we lose against Mazatlan tomorrow, we could punt the whole thing.
You probably just pack it in.
Well, look, can I ask this question? Like, what?
Mazatlan's our new Tunisia. We're going to get fucked by Mazatlan.
Oh, no. Beautiful place.
As a fan of LAFC, what do you want from this team? Like, I think there's a path, if we want it, to strategically throwing side tournaments on purpose and consistently winning MLS Cups. Would people want that?
No.
I wouldn't, but I could see if some people would. I don't know.
I think because
like, that's kind of what the trade-off is, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you're not going to win every game always. That's true. I mean, Tottenham won fucking Europa Cup, right? Or the Europa League. What is it called?
Europa League.
Like they were 17th in their the Premier League. They almost got relegated.
Much closer to relegation than the Champions League spots. But now they're in the Champions League.
Now they're in the Champions League, right? And so like, and if you're a Tottenham fan, would you rather have them really fought to get back in the league and by punting the Europa League? No, you want them to win the trophy. They could so we might not win MLS Cup. Most of the seasons you're not going to win MLS Cup. You have to try in every tournament. But like the strategist in me is like, the guys are exhausted. We don't, we have a child in like a spinny beanie hat playing center back. Like what are we doing? Like, can we even give it our best right now? So I think like we're in a really tough spot as a team. If we make it to the knockout round, I will be pleasantly surprised and happy. And then I'll say this tournament matters. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt right now. We are making signings. We could potentially make one of the biggest signings in our club's history for potentially the best player who's ever played for our club in the next month. So like,
well,
we shouldn't be all sour grapes by how the team has been playing in the regular season, despite the fact we were pretty sour grapes on our post game because it was maybe the ugliest loss of the season.
Grapes tasted kind of sour.
But a lot of sour grapes become wine, and wine is good. So
let them ferment.
When we come back, we're going to make our picks.
And we're back. It's time for the Happy Foot Sad Foot 2025 Leagues Cup Bracket Challenge, fellas. We do have a bracket challenge group for Happy Foot Sad Foot. Thank you to Kai for putting it together. It is at leaguescup.com. This year, as we did last year, we will put the link in the show notes to join. But this episode drops Tuesday morning. The deadline to join is Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. So you got to act fast. The link is already up on our Discord. So it doesn't matter. You won't be listening to this until you already know. I don't know if you guys have joined already. I have my bracket all ready to go.
I'm joining right now. I'm going to do it live. Oh, it's asking me to put in my first and last name and my birthday.
How did it get you to do that?
It's asking me to send it a lot of Bitcoin.
Oh, of course. How do you think they're paying the players?
Leagues Cup. I'm still Leagues Cup PXPYVH.
Yeah, I don't even. I spent the whole of 2 minutes being like, I think I can change. No, I can't change my name. This is not going to happen.
Do you guys think I would like to receive emails from Coors Light and Molson Coors Beverage Company or not?
I considered that as well and ended up deciding no, I would not like that.
Okay. Well, what kind of emails are we talking about?
Okay, my name is...
I mean, is there a world in which they're like, hey, Travis, you can do it. Thanks. Coors.
Just general...
Yeah, like aspirational, like...
You know what we're here to promote today? You, my friend.
Yeah. Like, hey, Travis, do a push-up today. Your friends at Coors.
So I have to do... How do I make my bracket?
Nobody steal that. I work in marketing. That's my new strategy. Just one-to-one marketing, but very attainable goals. Just be like, hey, bud, smile at a stranger.
Okay, so we're going to go over our picks. Just to remind everyone, Vince is the reigning champion. Came in hot last year as the person who knows the most and should probably win if he doesn't want to be embarrassed. And he did just kind of casually win.
So this year I'm taking it off.
So we'll see what happens. Travis, you famously, in the part that we cut, no one has to guess. You were trying to figure out how to log in. So you're going to do your picks live in person right now.
I want to give everyone this piece of advice. Do it on desktop. Do not try to do this on your phone. And also, if you want to see my picks, the name that it is forcing me to keep is Leagues Cup 8QOWQM. I cannot figure out how to change it, and I won't. So
that's a strong name, though. Don't you think?
8QOWQM.
Not to be confused with Leagues Cup PXPYVH, which is me, obviously.
The 8 Qs versus the PXPers.
Which do you guys think is more poorly organized, the tournament or the bracket challenge?
The tournament.
Because the good people at Coors Light have put together quite a
I
bracket
want to
challenge.
thank the good people at Molson Coors for letting me opt into their emails. Okay. Entries close in 19 hours. So I guess if you're listening to this, it's probably in 2 hours. Darren, are you done introing? Should I do my picks?
Everyone, of course, listens at a set time.
Yes.
Yeah, go do
Right
your
when it comes
picks,
out.
Travis.
Okay. As everyone knows, I'm a big Liga MX expert, a Liga MX expert, as I say.
Ooh, yes.
And
Deep throat.
Leagues Cup 8Q, I think, has a real club culture. Leagues Cup 8Q has a real club culture, and I want to really represent that in my picks.
Yes, of course.
And I think I would say a sister club to Leagues Cup 8Q is Leon. I think I have a fondness towards Leon because we played well against them. Also, I know Leon hasn't been as good recently. And in a tournament like this, they may say, hey, let's turn it up because we want to play better
let's turn it up. Famous Liga MX phrase.
Hey.
Tournament?
They wouldn't say vamos. They wouldn't say vamos. They'd say, hey, let's turn it up. Leon goes number 1.
Okay.
Okay. And then I think we're going to be surprised and delighted to see number 2, Monterrey, gets in there. Monterrey, another friend of the club, a sister club to Leagues Cup 8Q.
What exactly is Leagues Cup 8Q?
Nation State Rise. It's the people who are fans of my club, Leagues Cup 8Q.
It's a club?
Yeah. Yes, Darren, my club, Leagues Cup 8Q. And who we also do gambling picks. And then team 3, and I think this one is going to ruffle some feathers. Coming in third, really gonna put the L in LAFC. Tigres comes in number 3, and then number 4. And I want to say that this is a team that we have absolutely no relation to as a club, no matter what anyone says. Chivas is going number 4. Chivas is number 4, and we have no relation to them. Don't bring it up.
Okay, Trump.
That was an interesting voice.
I have number 1, Leon, number 2, Monterrey, number 3, Tigres, number 4, Chivas. You may say I just picked the 4 most popular teams in Mexico, but you'd be wrong because I didn't put Club America. Okay, moving on to MLS. Number 1, I think we're going to have to go with a surprise here. And again, I'm going with none of us having any idea who any of these teams are playing, but I just have a feeling Miami got an easy draw. So we're going to go with Miami at number 1. I don't know why I have that feeling, but I just have a feeling they have an easy draw. We're going Miami number 1.
Like they want them to be in more games or something.
Interesting. Why would the good people at Apple want that? Number 2, I think this is a tough one, and it's going to be a tough one to swallow. But again, LA Galaxy make it through to number 2. I think the LA Galaxy will have Ricky Puig coming back. And I think it's again one of those things where they'll say, our season sucks. Let's try to win this thing. And it's the type of thing fucking LA Galaxy always succeeds at. Yeah. These little rinky-dink fucking bullshit things that we'll say we care about when we win.
They just get in that circle. Our season sucks. Let's try to win this thing.
Yeah, let's try to win this thing. Vamos, they would say.
Let's try to win this thing.
Let's try to win this thing.
So far your bracket is hilariously similar to mine.
Oh, no.
Number 3. So far, a nightmare draw for LAFC. Inter Miami 1, LA Galaxy number 2. So let's keep that trend going and put Seattle in number 3 and just say it's all teams that we hate. No, actually, Columbus, it was a team we'd hate more. So we'll do Columbus at number 3.
Okay. And then does Seattle stay in, or do they just got kicked out completely?
Interesting. It's an interesting choice. I think what I'll say is, if I put a team we play in, that means that us making in is less likely, but I could also hedge my bets by putting us in and saying one of the two of us will. This is an LAFC podcast. I'll pull that LAFC in, even though I think we have a tough draw.
Wow, 4. Nice.
So 2 teams from LA and the 2 best teams in the East make it through. Okay. Continue to knockout. Do you guys want to say should we do
phase 1s of the knockouts? Yeah,
let's do phase 1s for you guys.
Oh, that's called a tease. Okay.
Find out what Travis's knockout picks are on the next.
Just kidding. Don't skip ahead.
Wait.
Okay, Vince, why don't you go next because you actually know things.
Oh, wow.
But you know what?
What?
Despite winning last year, I'm trying to remember if I actually did take it serious because I'm trying not to take it serious this year, and I'm wondering if that is actually the strategy.
Well, it was easier, I think, last year because we knew the groups. This one, it's not
That
like I
was
doubt
easier.
you went and looked who every team is playing, right?
Did not have time today. I would have, although I'm not sure how much that would have helped. I'll just go quick. My Liga MX teams, I have Monterrey number 1. They played in the Club World Cup. They're a talented team. I think they have a pedigree for a type of tournament like this. I have Toluca 2. They were the Clausura winners of last season. I have Cruz Azul 3, who are the CONCACAF Champions Cup winners. And our good friend Mateus Bogusz is still on the team. So a little soft spot for them maybe. And then 4, I put Pachuca in there because I like them. They're the Gophers. Come on. That's cool.
What's the team with the weird dog?
That's Tijuana. That's Cholos.
Tijuana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember that terrifying dog walked around our stadium and haunted people's
Terrifying
dreams.
dog mascot. That's who's haunting our stadium, not Griezmann.
Yeah.
All right, MLS teams.
So MLS teams.
Wait,
Travis
that's who
and
they put in the bathroom. Remember the guy who said it's haunted? It wasn't the person who died at the rave. It was that dog.
I don't know.
Maybe the
We
person
ended
that
up
died
finding
at
out
the
that
rave.
like 4 people died at the rave.
Yeah, there is a lot of people that
A lot
died.
of rave deaths.
Yeah.
Maybe
The
it
behind the scenes
inhabited-
is we found out sadder deaths that had happened in the building
Yeah.
that we didn't put in.
Mm-hmm. On the MLS side, I'm with Travis. I think that this team, Inter Miami, they haven't been around for a long time, but they seem to go deep in tournaments, and no one seems to know why. But I'm
Inter stands for in tournaments.
Yeah, in tournaments. I'm going to put them 1.
That was good.
I actually like the way Seattle's playing right now, so I'm going to put them 2. I think they're doing well, and that's not to appease our friends from Lobbing Scorchers. I just happen to think their team's playing well. Columbus 3, and then I'm going Cincy 4, which means LAFC not making it to the next round. That's the big one.
But in some ways, kind of nice because we won't have to podcast for a few weeks.
I'm trying to speak it into existence, guys. If I won this thing last year, and if I'm right again this year, it's going to be good for us. Not for our fans, but good for us.
I'm excited to see how our listeners decide that this is you simping for the club.
Yep, that's a tough choice.
Them
Tough
not
choice they're going to have to
making it
make.
into the knockouts. Okay, I really enjoyed hearing your guys' picks. Unfortunately, they're all wrong. What's going to happen at Leagues Cup this year is an all LA vibes Leagues Cup, of course. So what that means, of course, is the Liga MX teams that will make it through is number 1, Toluca, as in Toluca Lake. Number 2, Cruz Azul, featuring Mateus Bogusz. Number 3, Monterrey, as in Monterey Park. And 4th is Necaxa.
Yeah, even more fun thing to say.
With our friend Eva Longoria as their new owner.
She's our friend?
Yeah, she's a Patreon.
Yeah, and I believe the show, her version of Wrexham premieres during Leagues Cup, which I think is a very interesting thing.
A celebrity doing their own Wrexham is so funny.
I think it's like it's like an actual spinoff. Like they're involved. They're doing it with
they are part owners as well. But it is, it is funny though to think that there are a lot of celebrities now thinking like, how can we do our own Wrexham? Like it's it's a verb now.
Do a Wrexham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can we also make a lot of passive income?
Yeah.
It went from doing your own version of Drive to Survive, which is just a documentary about a sports league, to owning a team.
Here's what these leagues don't understand about Drive to Survive. Drive to Survive, the first season, the drivers and the teams didn't understand how much access they were giving, and it was very insane. And you got to see real moments. Since then, every fucking league has given you the most whitewashed documentary possible, and even Drive to Survive has pulled back how much access they had. So it doesn't work anymore because it wasn't fun.
Okay, so our LA vibes continue as the first seed in the group from the group stage. Well, I'm calling it a group stage. Phase 1's stupid. LAFC, of
it's
course.
It's not a group stage. There's no groups.
We're all in a group together, Vince.
Okay, fair.
It's Leagues Cup.
It's one big group.
It's just a phase.
Look at the trophy. It's huge. There's room for everyone.
Leagues group cup.
It's a big upside down tent.
Phase cup.
I like that there's phase 1, but there isn't a phase 2. It's phase 1 and then the knockout round.
Yeah.
What, really?
Yeah. It's phase 1 and then knockout round.
That's ridiculous.
Couldn't it be round 1 and round 2 and then round 3 and then round 4?
Could. It doesn't sound as cool as phase 1.
Okay. Number 2 is in tournament Miami. The third seed I have going through is, of course, in an all LA vibes bracket. Don't worry about Inter Miami, LA Galaxy, which is sort of like near LA. And then fourth is FC Cincinnati with our friend Kai Kamara. We get to see Kai Kamara in a Leagues Cup. Who doesn't want that?
Famously,
those are my picks.
He grew up wanting to play in Leagues Cup.
As a kid, he grew up in LA thinking one day I'm going to play in Leagues Cup.
For FC
Not
Cincinnati.
in the format that it is today when I'm a child, but in a different format. And then maybe a different format, and then maybe a different format.
Okay, here are my knockout picks. Or should I give you I'll give you my full bracket. We don't need to keep going back and forth.
Yeah, go all the way.
Okay. So my first game is Miami, in tournament Miami against Chivas. Chivas Mexico, not Chivas USA, obviously. That's us.
Not us.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
They
no.
got me.
Oh, no.
God,
I don't actually know what that means or why that's bad, if I'm being honest, but
They say it and it means something mean, I think.
This will be on the record in court.
Oh, no, it really hurts my feelings when you say it. Stop saying it. Miami against Chivas. Miami will beat them, of course, because they have to stay in the tournament. Then the next game on that side of the bracket is the Galaxy versus Tigres. I think Tigres is just way better than LA Galaxy, so Tigres moves on. On the other side of the bracket, then it's Leon versus LAFC. It is impossible for Leon to ever beat us, so LAFC will beat Leon. Then it is a very crazy game of Monterrey versus the Columbus Crew. And because the game is I almost said Monterrey wins the whole thing, but because the game is in the United States and the Crew shows up for games like this, and they have a chip on their shoulder about a lot of stuff, Columbus
from Columbus.
Yeah, because this is all they have besides terrible food and alcohol that has milk in it. Columbus will beat Monterrey. Going back to the other side, semifinals, we have Miami versus Tigres. I think this is a really interesting matchup. I'm going to give it to Miami because, again, it's home field advantage. Then Columbus versus LAFC. This is really tough. We have to play Columbus again.
Playing Columbus in a tournament is like a recurring nightmare.
Now, it almost feels like it's meant to be. Unfortunately, we just beat them. It really depends if we play home or away. In this current bracket, they are a higher seed than us. So I will say that we're going to be playing in Columbus. Columbus moves on to the final against LAFC. We once again lose in big games, Dolo out. Then the final is Miami, Columbus, third place, LAFC, Tigres. Of course, we lose the third place game, just miss out on the Champions Cup.
Wow.
LAFC can't win in big games. We lose to Tigres again.
Third place game is now a big game. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it gets us into Champions Cup. It is.
I know.
A big
I'm just
game.
saying it's
Actually,
historically
that is a big game.
Historically, a game no one cares about. Miami versus Columbus in the finals. Miami also likes to choke in big tournament games. Columbus finally wins the Leagues Cup again. Number of tournament goals in the whole tournament? 2. Choose a number between 1 and 999. Let's say.
Should I give you?
69. Yeah, what's the average?
I looked up the number of goals in last year's tournament.
How many?
And I don't remember what the exact number was, but it was like ballpark. 230 or something.
Okay,
like
so
there's a lot more games.
240
in last year.
There were a lot more games last year.
We're going to go 169. 169.
I think I went 167. That's pretty fun.
Fuck. Okay, maybe I should change it.
No, we don't have the same winner.
Submit. I agree that Major League Soccer can use my information to send me newsletters. No, I have to now agree to the Molson Coors newsletter to submit my predictions. Okay.
Well, they're just gonna send. I'm telling you,
it could be nice emails. Yeah, we've already been over this.
Friendly emails.
Okay, so I have friends at Columbus Crew back-to-back Leagues Cup champions. The final Leagues Cup as well.
Wow.
Okay, so on the left side of the bracket, I have Miami versus Pachuca, and I have Miami going through. Cruz Azul, Seattle. I have Matty Bogusz winning that game. Cruz Azul going through. I have Monterrey, Cincinnati. Normally, I would like Monterrey in that, but it's going to be in Cincinnati probably, so I'm going to put Cincinnati. I have Toluca, Columbus. I'm going to actually say it comes to an end for Columbus and Toluca goes through because Toluca is a team that wants to prove that their Clausura win was not a fluke. Then back over to the other side, Miami, Cruz Azul. I have Miami beating Cruz Azul. And I have
How
Cincy
dare you?
beating Toluca because there's no chance that MLS is going to get what they want, which is a MLS versus Liga MX final. So it's going to be Miami versus Cincinnati in the final and Cruz Azul versus Toluca. Toluca will win that third place game begrudgingly because no one's going to care about that one. And then Miami will beat Cincinnati.
Did none of us pick Club America to go through? I think that's interesting.
Yeah, we didn't.
I think they think they're above this tournament, you know?
Wait, who do you have winning? Cincinnati?
No, I have Miami beating Cincinnati.
Miami beating Cincinnati. Somewhat jaded.
That doesn't sound like.
Bracket.
So we each have picked a previous winner of the Leagues Cup to win the Leagues Cup. Darren,
Yep.
how we
both
do?
we both have an all MLS final.
Honestly, as a casual fan, I think getting a chance, another opportunity to see a Cincy Miami matchup will be fun.
It is a fun game.
Like that's a good matchup.
No one will care, but
All right, my bracket. First, LAFC will play Necaxa. Eva Longoria will be in attendance, as maybe she has been in other LAFC matches.
In the last Leagues Cup, yes.
And LAFC will prevail. This is, after all, an all LA vibes bracket. She is the only thing LA about that team. It's not going to be enough. Miami beats Monterrey because they are Miami and they're really good at winning the first round of tournaments. Toluca, the more LA team in this matchup against Cincinnati, because in my bracket, they're Toluca Lake. They will beat Cincinnati. And LA Galaxy will beat Cruz Azul because if you know anything about Chekhov's gun, this will be an El Tráfico final. LAFC beats Miami. LA Galaxy beats Toluca. LAFC plays LA Galaxy in the final. Miami plays Toluca. Toluca beats Miami because fuck Miami. And we win an El Tráfico Leagues Cup final.
Wow. Oh my God. I couldn't fucking handle that.
yeah.
Although we've beaten them in every important.
Winning
No, I guess we've beaten them in every playoff game. They've beaten us in the Open Cup a bunch. Fuck,
Twice.
that would be scary.
But they beat kids in one of them. That wasn't fair. That was
The one
You
of them.
thought facing Columbus would be fun and hard and weird and bad. What
Yeah,
did you
but
think about it?
I said that we lose to them.
Okay.
But it's only because in my bracket we would be playing in Columbus. I think if we get to play BMO, we do all right. All
If
right.
only we could play El Tráfico in Columbus.
So everyone say your final again, just so everyone remembers.
I have Miami beating Cincy.
I have Columbus beating Miami. We both have Ohio versus Miami in the final. Darren, what's yours?
Interesting. And I have LAFC beating Galaxy.
Not a single Liga MX club makes it to the final in any of our brackets. I do think they have made it easier for Liga MX clubs to make it. They haven't necessarily made it easier for the best Mexican clubs to make it because of how random this is. So it'll be interesting.
They still have to play away from home for every
yes,
game.
and they still have to play in America. I do think it's a.
I don't know how incentivized those teams are. Like, what's really in it for them?
Right. And they're taking a break like we are for phase one. They will pick their league back up during the knockout. So they do have to think about some other things going on at that time as well.
We don't pick up.
Don't we
knockout,
also?
right?
Yeah, we do as well. Both leagues will pick it. Yeah. So if
so we don't get time off.
you know.
We were saying that in the podcast we do have time off.
No, we don't. No, we didn't.
We just have less games.
We have less games. Time off.
Oh, the
We don't have
knockout
two
teams
two
still.
weeks.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, they still play in the league. They still play. It's a lot of games.
Well, those are our picks for the 2025 and final Leagues Cup. When we come back, we're going to make some bets.
And we're back. It's time for a segment called Bet It and Forget It.
Bet it and forget it.
Every week we end the show with a bet for this week's games. We make an outlandish prediction, something that almost definitely will not happen, but could. Each week we all put up $5. If no one hits, the money rolls over to the next week. Eventually, by the time someone's weird prediction comes true, they might win a good chunk of change. No one's bet cash last week. The pool for this week is now $120. And keep in mind, I'm saying week, but we are doing this for the entire first phase of Leagues Cup.
Phase one.
Phase one, the non-knockout phase.
Yeah, that's in parentheses. Travis is thinking very hard.
I have a bet that is infuriating to think about.
Okay.
But it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
How are you confident in it?
Yeah. Why else would I do it?
I'm never confident.
And the bet is this. All three of our games will go to a penalty shootout. All three of our
Ooh, I
phase
like
one
that.
games will go to a penalty shootout. And as we all know, Hugo Lloris is a pro at those. Famously, not all that good at penalty shootouts.
Yeah.
Hey, he's great at everything else.
Yeah. My expectations for
Except for
keepers
smiling.
on PKs is not high. I don't know.
You see that video of him screaming at Sun?
Yeah, that's
Uh-oh.
an old video.
Yeah.
Are they friends?
I remember when that happened. Yeah, they're fine. He's a goalkeeper mad at
What is that? There's drama?
at forward for not tracking back in a game. Like that happens.
Oh, is that clip from like in the locker room?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember watching that. That's fun.
It happens. Like,
My prediction is that Hugo Lloris will get
Yell
into a
at
screaming match
Youngman
with
Sun.
Son. He will join the team.
Clear
a good
visas.
Well, I don't think he'll join in time for it to happen during phase one.
Yeah,
Maybe
it won't
I'll
happen in
save it
phase
for
one.
knockout.
Yeah, I don't think it can happen in phase one.
And after phase one, it's not a good bet because we all will think it's happened. Like we'll know ahead of time that it's happened.
Right.
Well, yeah, okay.
I would
Yeah,
say
but them
it's better
screaming
than
at
not
each other?
that he joins the team at this point.
What do you mean?
I'm more confident that I'm not confident that he joins LAFC at this point.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What if my bet is LAFC signs Heung-min Sun during phase one?
Do it.
Ooh.
So the ink to paper.
Well, is it he
Yeah.
plays?
Like,
he
we-
plays in a phase one game?
No.
We
We
announce it.
we get the email from LAFC saying Heung-min Sun is
black and
LAFC's
gold.
second DP,
When is the Korean game? The Korean
the
League game?
3rd of August.
And when is the last game of phase one?
Ours is
Well, Travis, if you
ours
listen
is
to
the
Happy
8th.
Foot Sad Foot and LAFC
So
podcast,
you have a
the intro,
5-day window, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th
Mhm.
for Sun to be. Ooh, that's
And it's got to. I like I said, it would have to be like the email from PR saying it's done, not like Tom
so
being
it's
like
not
it's going to happen.
Bogart. It's not
Nope.
Bogart. It
Nope.
is.
Nope.
It is the new text messages that they've been sending.
it's not. Yeah,
Yes,
it's not Bogart
yes.
official. It's official.
Official.
Okay, hat tip doesn't count. It has to be
Nope, not have to either.
name announcement.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, yeah, I'm on board for that.
All right, let's do it. Just because I want it to happen, and you might have inside information we don't know about, and then we're fucked. Which is called insider
But
trading.
no one has inside information about an exact date.
That's true.
Yeah, but it is like it's happening. She's just waiting.
Sure. But again, I'm confident enough as well that it's happening, or at least
Yeah,
hopeful
I think that's a
enough
fine bet.
that it's still even with that.
Because think of how long it took for them to go from hat tip this past weekend to announcing the Canadian. I don't think they'll want to like really have
the Canadian.
Yeah, there's also a world in which MLS is like, hey, can you guys just wait till after Leagues Cup phase one ends and not steal our thunder? So I could,
Oh, I was
And-
going to
and-
ask you about the 2 players we signed. Are they good?
yeah, they're okay.
Okay, great.
Great.
Darren, what's your bet?
My bet is what's his name? Chouanier
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
will score in phase one,
I love that bet.
Okay, I like it.
All right.
including
are
if
all
it's an own
fun.
goal.
No,
No.
no.
I'm kidding.
Okay, these are all fun bets. I like this. We shall see. That's our Phase 1 Leagues Cup preview. Our theme music is done by the insane team of James Valentine, Nate Walcott, and Louis Palmer. If you want to know all of the insider tips and tricks around the transfer window,
You want to know the LAFC life hacks?
if you want to know all about, I'm on a Windows computer and I can't get this. I'm like so confused how to close this weird window I have open. This is why. I have found the script. I've had to hide you guys because right now I'm seeing Dave Ramsey warns Americans on Social Security and global backlash grows to Trump's tariff threats. Like, what
sounds
is
important.
going on with Windows? Our theme music is done by the insane James Valentine, Nate Walcott, Louis Palmer. If you want to get all the insider news and information that we provide by just asking some of our friends if something's going to happen, go over to patreon.com/happyfootsadfoot and join the Patreon. You get 15% off merch. And you get to, help us keep making the show. And you get a bunch of other cool stuff like hanging out. We have like different things going on in the Discord. We did a music league that was really fun. If you can't join the Patreon.
The AFC tournament.
Yeah. If you don't have.
We post photos of our pets.
If you don't have the $5, but you want to help us, it means a lot to go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and review us, or go to YouTube, subscribe, and give us thumbs up and comments. Leaving comments, these last few videos where we've asked you guys to leave comments, has increased engagement a lot. So let's do it again. I want you guys to, if you got this far, to leave a comment that says, Dave Ramsey warns Americans on Social Security.
Yeah, that's too long.
No.
Okay, that says
Leave your social security number. No, don't.
Yeah, just leave us a potential Social Security number. It doesn't have to be a real one, or maybe it is. How would we
I
ever
think
know?
it should be the Social Security. If you could pick any Social Security number that was yours, what would it
or-
be? Your favorite Social Security number.
Yeah. Okay, you could do that, or the first two numbers, real numbers of your Social Security number.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You're probably gonna get flagged
That
for
scares
spam.
me.
Yeah.
Just your favorite number.
Well, the
Yeah,
first. Did you guys know the beginning of your Social Security number is a location?
Whoa.
So like Vince's, because he was born in California, probably starts with a 9. Does your Social Security number start with a 9, Vince?
No,
Is it a high number?
it's a 6.
This magic trick sucks.
Darren, is the first number of your Social Security number a low number?
It might be.
Yeah, mine's a 0.
Why?
It is
Why?
because it's the East Coast has lower numbers and the West Coast has higher numbers.
Oh. Does it go by like Travis's city rankings? Because that would track.
Well, yes, mine's at 0, yours is at a 2, Vince is at a 6. Yeah, that's right.
Mine's not a 2.
Oh, what is it?
It's
Do you know
weird
how
saying
hard
it.
it would be for people? Also, your social. If I wanted to just go
If it
on
is
the
a
dark
location,
web,
people would know that part.
yeah, it's also like, I could pay someone on the dark web to give me your Social Security number. All of our Social Security numbers are leaked on the internet.
Yeah,
already.
for sure. Yeah, it's all out there. It's just a question of what Bezos decides he wants to do
Okay,
with them.
say it and cover your mouth and bleep it. I knew it. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Our theme music is all the other things. Yeah, we're good. End the show.
Wrap it up.
HappyFootsApplePod.com. I love you. Bye.
Remember, Spotify has comments.
I love you. Bye.
I love you. Bye.